श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधार बरना हो रघुबर विमल यश जो दायक फल चार. Taking the dust of the feet of the Sadguru, we clean our mind and heart and narrate the glorious tale of Sri Rama that gives all four aims of people: dharma, artha, kama and moksha. These immortal words of Tulsi leads us today on Guru Purnima day into the great story of Rama. There was a poet who said, an Indian English poet, I think it was A.K. Ramanujan, who said that every baby that is born in India already knows the story of Rama. Ramayana and Mahabharata are already known to that baby when it is born. It just has to be reminded of it. When it grows up, you have to remind it. It already knows it. Likewise, we are all only babies. So, this is a humble attempt by all of us to remind ourselves of the story of Rama. So since we are babies, we should naturally start with the prayer to Vinayaka, prayer, because we are beginning today the story of Rama. So I remember when I was a small baby, my mother taught me two verses. One was for Vinayaka and the other was for Rama. All of us, from my elder sister to my youngest brother, all of us were taught these two verses by my mother. So till today, unless we exert ourselves, we are not in a position to say those shlokas without making the childlike Malalai mistakes that we learned to chant it with. For example, the first shloka that I learned on Vinayaka was as follows, which is how I start today. In a proper manner said, Gajananam Bhuta Ganati Sevitam Kapitta Jambu Phalasara Bhakshitam Umasutam Shoka Vinashakaranam Namami Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam. Most of you will know this shloka. O elephant faced Lord, who is served by all the Bhuta Ganas, who eats the fruits of the wood apple tree and the jamun tree, the son of Uma, who destroys all sorrow, to that Vigneshwara's feet I bow. Lotus feet I bow. So I learnt it when I was a kid, and I used to finish it, Nama Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam, like that. Okay? The way we were taught. And the next one that I was taught was Apatam Upahartaram Dataram Sarva Sampadam Lokabhiramam Sri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Arthanam Artihantaram Bhitanam Bhayanashanam Dishatam Kaladandam Tam Ramachandram Namamyaham Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Sitayaha Pataye Namaha. Apadam Upahartaram Dataram Sarva Sampadam. The one who removes distress from us, the one who gives us all for good fortune, the one who is loved by the whole world, I bow to him again and again. The one who destroys our difficulties, who removes our fear, removes the fear of those who are afraid, who is Kaladanda to his enemies. That Rama I bow to. That Rama, that auspicious Rama, that moon Rama I bow to. That wise Rama I bow to that consort of Sita I bow to. These are the two verses that I learned as a baby. Apatam apartaram, that we used to say. Vedavedye pare pumsi jate dasharathatmaje veda prachetasa dati sakshad ramayanatmana. Vede pare pumsi jate dasharathatmaje. The entire Vedas have been born in the form of man, who was born as a son of Dasharatha. And the substance of that was born as the Ramayana. Kujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Arukya Kavita Shakam Vande Valmiki Kokilam Kujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam. There is this koel which is singing Kujantam Rama Rameti, singing Rama Rama Rama, it's singing. Who is that koel which has climbed up on the tree of poetry and is singing the name of Rama? To that koel which is Valmiki I bow. Vande Valmiki Kokilam. Valmike Munisimhasya Kavita Vanacharinaha Shunvan Rama Katha Nadam Konayati Param Gatim. We are all roaming around in the forest of poetry. Kavita Vanacharinaha. And in that forest suddenly a lion is roaring. A lion called Valmiki is roaring. Valmiki Munisimhasya. What is he roaring? Shunvan Ramakatha. Ramakatha. He roars in that forest of this great forest of this world that we are all staggering around in. There is a lion called Valmiki who is roaring the tale of Rama, who will not attain Param Gatim on listening to this roar of Valmiki. Idam pavitram papagnam punyam vedaischa sammitam yapate dramacharitam sarva papai pramuchyate. Idam pavitram papagnam punyam vedaischa sammitam yapate dramacharitam sarva papai vimuchyate. He who reads the story of Rama, he is freed from all his sins. Goshpadi Katavarisham Mashaki Katarakshasam Ramayana Mahamala Ratnam Vande Nilatmajam Goshpadi Katavarisham Mashaki Katarakshasam. The one who made the ocean look like a small puddle in the hoof of a cow. Goshpadi Katavarisham Mashaki Kataraksham, who made in paste of Rakshasas. Who is the great jewel of the great necklace of which is Ramayana, who is the great jewel? That son of Vayu I bow to. Vande Anilatmajam. Anjananandanam Veeram Janaki Shokanashanam Kapikshamakshhantaram Vande Lanka Bhayankaram. He is the delight of Anjana. He is a great Veera. He is the one who destroyed the distress of Sita, Janaki Shokanashanam. Kapisham is a king of apes, the killer of Aksha. He is the Bhayankara, Lanka Bhayankaram. He is the absolute fear of Lanka. He put the fear of Rama into Lanka and went before he went. Ramam Ramanujam Sitam Bharatam Bharatanujam Sugrivam Vayusunum Cha Pranamami Punah Punah. Ramam Ramanujam. How we bow to Rama, we bow to Lakshmana, to Sita, to Bharata, and to Shatrughna, and to Sugriva, and to Anjaneya again and again. Pranamami Muhurmuhu. But we are getting into Ramayana. In Ramayana, we have paid our respects to Valmiki, we have paid our respects to the main characters of the story, to Vigneshwara, to Anjaneya in good measure. But if we need audience with Rama, we need to go through Sita. So Tulsidas says, जनक सुता जग जननी जानकी अतिशय प्रिय करुणा निधान की ताके जुगपद कमल मनाऊं जासु कृपा निर्मल मति पाऊं जनक सुता जग जननी जानकी. The daughter of Janaka, the mother of the entire universe, Janaki, who is the most beloved of the most compassionate Sri Rama. I bow and offer worship to her lotus feet so that my mind may be cleansed by that and I may be given entry into the kingdom of Rama. Mangal Bhavan Amangal Hari Mangal Bhavan Amangal Hari Drau so dasrat Ajir Bihari Drau so dasrat Ajir Bihari Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai Kripa Karo Guru Dev ki nai Kripa Karo Guru Dev ki nai Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai. Mangal Bhavan, he is the palace, he is the mansion of all auspiciousness, Rama is. And he is the destroyer of all inauspiciousness. And he played as a child in the house of Dasharatha. And then once again praying to Lord Hanuman and to the Guru, Kripa Karo Gurudev ki nai. We step in to Ramayana through the door of Mahabharata. Because we completed, if we can use that word, Mahabharata last. And in the end of Mahabharata, after all had been said and done, the great Guru Vyasa had made a loud proclamation. And today is Vyasa Puja. Today is Guru Purnima, Vyasa Puja. And let us listen to Vyasa's proclamation and then we shall enter Ramayana. Being Vyasa Puja, let us once more chant our opening shloka of Bharatam and then enter. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudhire. So Vyasa had, in the absolute end of Mahabharata, he proclaimed, माता पितृसहस्राणि पुत्रदारशतानि च संसारेषु अनुवर्तन्ति यानि यास्यन्ति चापरे हर्षस्थानसहस्राणि भयस्थानशतानि च दिवसे दिवसे मूढाम् आविशन्ति न पण्डितम् ऊर्ध्वबाहुर्विरौम्यैष न च कश्चित् शृणोति मे धर्मादर्थश्च कामश्च सधर्म किं न सेव्यते न जातु कामान्न भयान्न लोभात् धर्मं त्यजेत् जीवितस्यापि हेतोः नित्यो धर्मः सुखदुःखो तु अनित्ये जीवो नित्यो हेतुरस्य तु अनित्यः. So he says, Mata Pitru Sahasrani Putradara Shatani. He says, every human being has had thousands of mothers and fathers in various lives. Thousands. Hundreds and thousands of children and wife and husband and this and that in various lives. And this is not the end of it, it is going to continue to have. And despite that, come. Despite that, so the Bharata, this set verse is called Bharata Savitri. Bharata Savitri, Vyasa says, thousands of fathers and mothers and sons and wives and husbands and such you have had in so many births we have had. And we will continue to have. It is not the end of it. Yet in every single life, Harshasthana Sahasrani Bhayasthana Shatani ja Divase, in every day, hundreds of occasions you are feeling thrilled about something. Hundreds of occasions you are being deadly scared about something. Bhayasthana, Shatanicha. Every day you are something thrilling or you feeling good about, something you feel deadly scared about. And this is the kind of emotion that afflicts mudhas, he says, fools. Na panditaha, not the wise ones. And he says, I am going around urdhvabahu, with my uplifted arm, I am going around in the world, I Vyasa, I am going around proclaiming that follow dharma. And if you follow dharma, then the other three will follow it. You will get wealth, you will get all your desires fulfilled, and ultimately you will get moksha. If you follow dharma, I am going around shouting with my hands upraised, but nobody listens to me. Natu kaschit shunoti me. Not a single person listens to me. He says, the end of Mahabharata. And he says, न जातु कामान् न भयान् न लोभात् धर्मं त्यजेत् जीवितस्यापि हेतोः. He says one should not abandon dharma. One should never abandon dharma, even at the cost of even if one life is at stake. Even if your life is at stake, do not abandon dharma. Either because of some desire of yours, you want to abandon some dharma, or because of some fear, or because of some greed. Even if your life itself is at stake, do not abandon dharma, because dharma is eternal. And this little happiness and this little sukha dukkho to anitye, they come, they go. Don't get worried about it. Worry about dharma. Stick to it. Everything else will follow course. The self is eternal. This individual I that your name form you are identifying with is anityam. The Paramatma is eternal, and you will attain that by sticking to dharma. This is what Vyasa proclaims in the end of Mahabharata. And where he ends, Bharata ends, Ramayana begins. Because Ramayana is a dharma pradhana grantha. Its main spine, if you may say, is dharma. Mahabharata's pradhana, this thing is moksha. Ramayana keeps moksha aside, saying we'll worry about it later. What do we do here? Okay. You won't find heavy teachings of how to get self-knowledge, etc. in Ramayana. Right? And in Ramayana, for that matter, in Bharatam. or in any other Purana of ours. What they do is, they bring God to the level of man. They are gracious enough, our sages, to bring them to the level of man. So they humanize. So Rama is human, like you, like me. He has his doubts. There are enough, if you ask this room, there are enough people who will have a list of complaints against him. One long list. I was reading somewhere, somebody had gone to Andhra and they were asking a crowd of young ladies in a college, saying, will you tell your daughters the story of Sita? They all said, most of them said, no. We will not. We don't want our daughters to be like her. She thought that time. We don't want to even know about such a person. Right? So we bring them to this level so that you put yourself in that position and you think, what would I have done? Right? You're not getting any great, this is no black and white here, it's all grey. And you are alone actually. You can take hints from how they behaved, but they are showing you more what you think is a mistake. So what will you learn from that? So this is the mystery that we will walk through in the story, The Great Way of Rama. You get two options, both are wrong. Which one will you choose? Both are tough on you. How do you choose? That's the thing. Dharma Sankat, as they call it in our tradition. So coming back, today is being Guru Purnima. I thought before we get into Ramayana proper, from the first verse onwards, first verse we will say, and then we will, because it's today Guru Purnima, then we'll get into some. First verse of Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, happens like this. Valmiki is already a great tapasvi. He's already a great tapasvi. And in front of him comes Narada. And to Narada, Valmiki poses a set of questions. This is the first verse of Ramayana. Tapaswadhyaya niratam. What is the verse? Tapasvi vagvidamvaram naradam paripapracha Valmikir munipungavam tapaswadhyaya niratam. Tapasvi vagvidamvaram. Tapaswadhyaya niratam is Narada. Tapasvi is Valmiki. Vagvidamvaram is Narada. Naradam pariprapracha Valmiki munipungavam. Munipungavam is Narada. Valmiki. Valmiki is a tapasvi. He sees Narada. Narada is tapaswadhyaya niratam. He's accomplished in tapasya, and he's accomplished in the swadhyaya, means, for example, among other things, the practice of the scriptures, so to say. And he's a Munipungava, he's the greatest among munis. To him, the ascetic Valmiki, and Narada is Vagvidam Varam. He is the greatest among speakers. His grammar is supreme in grammar. Like Hanuman was supreme in grammar. Every word will be perfect that he uses in Valmiki. When Hanuman meets Rama and Lakshmana for the first time, then later Rama immediately says, Lakshman, just see the words he uses. He is a master of all the four Vedas. Such perfection in the choice of words and how he is used. Likewise, Narada. So to Narada, Valmiki asks some questions. What those questions are, we'll not go in today. That's the subject probably we'll come to next. And we will also we'll go into the backgrounds of what are the various Ramayanas and how prevalent it is. What are the differences? In a short way, all that we'll do in the next session next week. But today we will go directly, jump fast forward and see some flowers in the garden where Guru Purnima is of significance. Today's Guru Purnima is of significance. And for that, I thought we will look at Rama as a Shishya, as a student, not as a Guru. We'll come to Rama as a Guru later. Today we'll see Rama as a Shishya. So we cut into the actually I think it's the 18th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, in the Balakanda, the first Kanda of Valmiki Ramayana. Rama is born. So are the four brothers are born. So there's the 17 chapters of background, and there's one chapter called Rama Adya Avataraha, where in very quick section, in one chapter, Valmiki rushes. He rushes through the birth of the four, the naming, etc., their growing up, the fact that Lakshmana and Rama are inseparable, Bharata and Shatrughna are inseparable, etc. In fact, he calls Lakshmana as the life of Rama which is outside him. Rama apparently can't sleep in the night with Lakshmana. He can't sleep. They have to be together that way, brothers. And all these people growing up, they have grown up almost, they are going to be 16 years of age almost. And so Dasharatha is discussing with some of his courtiers in his assembly about, now I think we should start looking only. Now if we start looking marriage for them, we will get some good girl, etc. They're thinking, discussing. And suddenly there is a knock in the outside of the palace, and there stands this great ascetic Vishwamitra, who sends a message to the palace guard saying, go tell the king, the son of Gadhi, of the lineage of Koshika, Vishwamitra is here. And they are petrified because his reputation precedes him. It's like Durvasa dropping in. But he is a Brahma Rishi, that also immediately they go and tell Dasharatha that he has come. Dasharatha is actually overjoyed in some sense. He's also a man of deep, he's a king. So every time he's overjoyed, he'll also be a little bit wary, saying, there must be something in this that I should be careful of as well. So he is first, but he welcomes him and he says, what can I do for you? My life has now been fulfilled. The purpose of my life has been fulfilled. It is like night has come, sun has come in middle of the night. It is like as if it has rained in the desert. All sorts of adjectives he says. How happy he is that you have come. You have blessed us by your presence. What can we do for you? Please do not think anything is impossible for us to do. Everything is possible that you have come. You have been a Rajarishi, you have been a Kshatriya, you have been a king. After that, you have become a Brahma Rishi, you have become a self-realized sage. There are many reasons why I am rejoicing that you have come here and you have done this, that, etc. He is saying. And Vasishtha welcomes him, everybody welcomes him, all that is over, he's seated comfortably. And then he said, please tell me, what can I do for you? Then he says, yes, I'm so glad. And you are the kind of person who will say this, that, etc. And then he says, this is what the reason I have come. I am doing this great yajna, I am doing this Havan, huge yajna somewhere. And problem is, it doesn't get fulfilled because there are these two creatures, these demons who come and destroy. They stop it and they throw all kinds of rubbish, and I can't do anything about it, basically because when I am doing a yajna, I am under a oath, a vow of ahimsa, so I can't attack them back. Then my yajna is destroyed in any case by myself. So I need protection for completing. This is a very important yajna. I need protection. Yeah. So he says, so I have come here, so give me your son. I want your eldest son, Ram. And don't worry about him. He'll be able to handle this, and he's with me in any case, so I'll take care of him. It's only for 10 days. It's a 10-day yajna, so send him. Give him to me. Now, this was one question one thing that Dasharatha did not expect. So he completely almost breaks down. He says, no. How can he hardly 16 years of age? He's a kid. He's a child. He's not trained for warfare, and we have not yet done that. This is not. It's not. He's not going to be able to take on some demons and all that you are saying. It's not going to work. I'll do one thing. I'll come. I'll bring an army with me. One Akshauhini is almost, 1 lakh foot soldiers. So 20,000 elephants, another 40,000 horses, like that. Some 2 lakh people, warriors of Dasharatha. We'll all come. We'll protect you. I'll be leading it, etc. But this kid, he's hardly now fledgling. He doesn't know all this. How will we take him, etc. He's saying. No, but even as he's saying this, Vishwamitra is growing, like a fire in which you're putting some ghee, becomes flaming, right? He's standing there, but he's going flaming, looking at him. And he says, what kind of, maybe this is what your family is like. You said, I'll do everything, but now you're not saying, you're saying something else. well, the purpose for which I have come looks like it's not going to be fulfilled. So, what is the purpose of my staying here? I am going. I don't want to stay in a place where, your false promises, etc. I don't have time, kind of thing he's saying. When suddenly Vasishtha, in fact, even before Dasharatha objects, he says, Aham vedmi mahatmanam ramam tatya parakramam vasishtho api mahateja ye chayame tapasi sthita. He says, I know Rama. He says, I know Ram. He is a Mahatma. Aham vedmi mahatmanam. Rama, Satya Parakramam, whose valor is his truth. I know him. Not only I know him, Vasishtha know him. Vasishtha also knows who he is in reality. And so do the other tapasvis. They know him. In effect saying, you don't know him. I know him. And on this one shloka, there's a huge commentary written by a very beautiful Bhagavata, which we'll go into some other time. But he says, this is Aham vedmi paratman. I know him. But despite that, Dasharatha says, no, he's just not even finished, schooling kind of thing. How can I send him into battle? So then, when he gets angry, then Vasishtha intervenes. Vasishtha tells Dasharatha that no, we have already given our word, so we must go. Don't worry, he can handle it. And anyway, Vishwamitra is here and he knows all the celestial weapons, etc. And he can even create celestial weapons on the go by himself. There's no fear, etc. Please, by all means, give Rama to him and all that. And then, as always happens in Ramayana, Lakshmana goes with him. I mean, this guy doesn't say send Rama and Lakshman. He just says send Rama. And by default, Lakshmana will go along with him. So there they are, the two of them, and beautiful descriptions, etc. in Ramayana. When we go into detail, we'll go into that. But except that the poet goes overboard in saying the beautiful black hair of Rama on his two sides. His jet black hair, like crow's wings, he says, whatever that is. Anyway, so that is. So these three people are now leaving. They are leaving. The Vishwamitra is leaving along with Rama and Lakshmana, and they are all now prepared. So they are having a bow. Each has taken his bow and two quivers. One on this side, one on this side. The two quivers were filled with arrows, and it looks as if each of them is a three-headed snake. And they are walking out, and they got a sword on their side, and they are walking out along with Vishwamitra. They are looking like Skanda and Vishaka, says Valmiki, like Muruga, like Kartikeya became 6. 2 of them were Skanda and Vishaka, like that. They are looking and they walked out. And when they are walking out, they get first blessings from Kausalya saying, do well. And then finally Dasharatha kisses Rama in his forehead and then sends him. The kid actually kisses him on his forehead and says, take care and all that. And you're going out into the world and all that. And he pleads with Vishwamitra, says, if anything happens to you, I am finished, he says. First, I am finished. He was born after so many years for me. And even among these 4, the eldest, he is my most beloved. I can't stay one day without him. I have not stayed. If anything happens to him, where will I go and all that? Anyway, he is the one who is to save me from hell by offering this thing for. Where will I? All that now is gone. They have gone, walked out into the big wide world. Vishwamitra has come, fetched his 2 wards, so to say, and gone out into the world, and they have barely walked a yojana and a half. A yojana and a half is a few miles. When Vishwamitra stops, turns to Rama, and adyardha yojanam gatva saraiva dakshine tate rameti maduram vanim vishwamitrobhyabhashata. So he stopped, and it's a very melodious voice. He called for Rama. Rama, he says, Vishwamitra to Rama. Grihanavatsarilam mabhut kala viparyaya mantragramam grihanatvam balamati balam tatha. He says, Rama, there's no time to waste. There's no time to waste, says Vishwamitra. Take it, he says, Grihanavatsa. Child, I'm going to give you something, take it. So he says, I'm going to give you a small docket, so to say, or a family, a little set of mantras. I'm going to give you a little set of mantra called Bala and Atibala. Take it quickly, because it may become sunset later. Before sun sets, I want you to. So because after sunset, you don't initiate. न श्रमो न ज्वरो वाते न रूपस्य विपर्ययः न च सुप्तं प्रमत्तं वा दर्शयिष्यन्ति नैरृताः. So if you, the effect of these two mantras sets that I am giving you is, once you take it, then you will never have any fatigue. You won't have any fatigue, nor will you get fever, nor will you get disfigured, nor will you get overcome by sleep, nor will you get overcome by intoxication, and nor will you be overcome by demons. Right? Etad vidyadvaye labdhe bhavita nasti te samah bala chati bala chaiva sarvajnanasya matarau. Nobody will be equal to you once you have acquired these two mantras, and these are actually jnanasya matarau, he says. This is the mother of all knowledge. What I am going to give you is the mother of all knowledge. From this now, then on, you will have, one by one, you will have all knowledge. So I am giving you the mother. Take it, he says. Shut pipasena te rama bhavishyete narottama balamati balam chaiva patatah tata raghava. He says, once you have accepted these two mantras, you will never be afflicted by either hunger or by thirst. Right? Let us take it that what has been given is the ability to put up with all this, to put up with hunger, to put up with thirst, to be able to not sleep when you have a reason to be awake, etc. All that ability is given by this. And Rama touches water. That is the traditional way of firstly purifying yourself. You'll often see people throwing water, touching it like that. Or you can touch your ear. To purify himself, and in a very happy frame of mind, he accepted both the Bala means strength and Atibala means excessive strength or even more strength. Two sets of mantras which Vishwamitra gives him. So we are into Guru Purnima, right? So he's initiated him into two sets of mantras. And Valmiki says, on receiving these two, Rama was already blazing, became even more blazing as if he was the sun in a cloudless autumn sky. Like that he blazed after. And the commentators and the other elders tell us, not only was Rama given, Lakshmana was also given, except Valmiki didn't mention it. But whenever you say Rama, Lakshmana is included. Okay. So he's also, both of them have got Bala and Atibala now. And what did they do next? Guru karyani sarvani niyujya kushikatmaje ushustam rajanim tatra saraivyam susukahatraya. Guru karyani sarvani. They did all work that a shishya should do to a guru. So you can know, you can imagine what it is. And they must have brought water for him, they must have brought fruits for him, they might have pressed his feet, whatever they did for the guru, the two of princes did. And then when evening set, night came, Vishwamitra said, we have to sleep. And where did they sleep? On the ground, on the banks of Sarayu. So, yesterday he was a prince, not yet 16, having all these years grown up in absolute luxury. Everything taken care of, everything is fine. The Guru has come, demanded the two of them, taken them outside, given them two important abilities, and then in the night, he's put them to sleep on the ground. So there they are, now sleeping on the ground. Next morning is that famous shloka that you all hear in Suprabhatam. So early morning, much before the sun, just before the sun rises or whatever, Vishwamitra is awake, Rama is sleeping. And Vishwamitra wakes him up with Kausalya Suprada Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate Uttishta Narasha Hardula Kartavyam Daivamanhikam. That shloka which you hear. Get up, O tiger among men, he says. Sandhya is going to come, the sun is going to rise. You got duties to perform, kartavyam. They have work to do, get up. You got duties to perform. So there he was. They say, of course, the commentators that Rama being Vishnu was in Yoga Nidra and all that. But for what it is worth, a young man has come, first time he slept outside. and he's not immediately getting up in a hurry. Normally, a disciple is supposed to wake up before the Guru. When you are with the Guru, you're supposed to wake up and then wait for his orders. When he wakes up, then you are there ready with some water, whatever he needs. But here, in his infinite affection, doesn't even mind it. He says this and wakes him up. And then he takes them to next 3 hours. We'll try to quickly go, but there are important points that we have to address today. We'll take a few steps that he takes. He takes them to a place, and there's a hermitage, and That hermitage is, what is this hermitage? Then Vishwamitra tells a lot of stories. Vishwamitra tells him. All along the way, Vishwamitra is telling Rama and Lakshmana stories. Young kids, 15, 16 years, they are listening to stories. So first he tells about this place, saying this is Kamashrama, this is the place where Shiva burnt Kamadev. So that entire big story he tells him. We will not go to the story now, but he drills it into Rama and Lakshmana that Kamadeva came to tempt Shiva, and Shiva burnt him. So a big point it drives home into Rama and Lakshmana. Then there are ascetics in that ashram. They give them a boat for further journey. So they're going down. The Sarayu, and they hear a loud noise. Rama says, "What is that noise?" And Vishwamitra says, "Further down, Ganga is joining Sarayu. That noise of the two rivers meeting is what this noise is that you're hearing," and all that. And then they come to this crossover to the other side. There's a huge forest, this terrible forest, all sorts of description of that forest. He says, "What kind of forest is this?" Rama asks. Then he says, yeah, this is the place actually where Indra, after he had killed Vritrasura, he had used some deceit to kill Vritrasura. So he had therefore incurred certain defects, and which he had to wash off. And so the defects in terms of dirt had to be expiated from him, and that fell here. This was the place. So this was that kind of a place. Now there's this forest here, but this demoness called Tataka, she is the one who is very nearby here. He has told Dasharatha that two Rakshasas are attacking my yajna. One is Maricha, one is Subahu. He had never mentioned anything about Tataka to Dasharatha. In fact, when he mentioned Maricha and Subahu, Dasharatha, I forgot to tell you, Dasharatha asked him, yeah, that's fine. Well, in between they're discussing, but who are these people who are harassing you? He said, no, these are two Rakshasas, Maricha and Subahu. This man loses everything. He says, my God, that are Ravana's people. It's not possible. I can't do anything. My army can't do anything. Where is the question of a kid being able to do anything? Match is off. He says, this is off. We're not going to play this game. There's no way we're going to take this on. So this man has not even mentioned Tataka to him. And Tataka is Maricha's mother, and she has the strength of 1,000 elephants or whatever. So now Vishwamitra tells all of this to him, and then tells him, you'll have to kill her. You'll have to kill her. Don't get into a pity mode that she's a woman. If it comes to it, you'll have to kill her. Rama straight says, my father has sent me on a task, and you are my guru. He has told me to obey you. It shall be done. All that. But what happens when Tataka comes attacking them? Rama is first time. This is open shikar. First time this guy is actually facing this, using all, right? So first time he has come all that. When she comes attacking, he tells Lakshmana, look at this ogress who's coming to attack. Just look at her. We'll do one thing. We'll cut off her nose and her ears. Yeah. We'll cut off her nose and her ears. Okay. Then he says, she's a woman. Yeah. So what we'll do, we'll not kill her. We'll immobilize her. We'll cut off her legs or something. Okay. We'll cut off her hand or something. Won't kill her. He's told Vishwamitra, we'll kill. Okay. Now he's saying, no, all that. And then he's doing all this, and they cut off her ear, they cut off her leg, etc. But she thought changes form, this, that, and she's throwing mountains of stones at them and all that. Vishwamitra then looks at Rama and says, I told you, no compassion. No compassion. If you're going to waste any more time, the night's going to fall, then you will not be able to do a thing about her. You will not be able to do a thing about her. No compassion now. So Rama now knows an order. When it's an order and he realizes it's come down, he kills her. He kills her. Now people talk about this particular episode. This is a much discussed episode. Should Rama have killed Tataka? No. Why did he kill a woman? All that. The law does not provide that you should kill a woman and all that. And then the law saying, law, you can, when it's for the good of the humanity, you must. If somebody, irrespective of the man or woman, somebody is like this, then you have to, all that explanation goes on. Anyway, so what happens? So he's done it. Okay, he's done it. Now, once he has done it, Vishwamitra is very pleased. He is apparently pleased for two reasons. One, that he actually exercised his mind as well. Saying, no, I will not. Despite the order given. The order was given by Vishwamitra saying, kill without pity. This man said, no, woman will try. Maybe he's thinking that pleased him, saying yes. He also exercised his mind, not blindly following an order. But then when he understood that this has to be done, he did it. So that's also the next important. So he didn't immediately adamant saying, this is what I am thinking and I will not listen to the other guy. Both are important. Now that Vishwamitra realized that yes, my student is ready for the next thing to receive, what did he give him? He gave him all the celestial weapons knowledge that he had in a bag, saying, take it. Take it. All sorts of weapons. Just Dharma Chakra, Kala Chakra, Vishnu Chakra, Vajrayuda, Trishula, Yamadanda, Varuna Pasha, Agneyastra, Vayavyastra, Aishika Astra, all sorts of. By some count, there are 54 celestial weapons that he gives to Rama. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And you know how many years it took for Vishwamitra to firstly acquire those weapons? How many thousands of years he had done penance to acquire those weapons? And how he gave it in 2 minutes. Right? This is the glory of the Guru. So he just gave it, take it, and all that. And his lifetime's penance in terms of celestial weapons, he gave to Rama like that. You take it. Rama, of course, very happily takes them all. And they are all waiting, personification of weapons, they're waiting next to him saying, what should we do? He says, go away and come to my mind when I need you. I'll call for you. You go away right now. So he sends them all off. Of these 54, only 3 or 4 celestial weapons out of these are known to Ravana also. So many he doesn't know, all given as a kid. He has given it to him saying, now take it. Now next step has happened. Now he moves further. They go to another ashrama called Siddhashrama. Then there, that was the ashrama where Vishnu as Vamana Avatara used to stay, who overcame Bali. So the entire story of Vamana Avatara and Bali is told by Vishwamitra to Rama. So there the emphasis is very clear that Mahabali was the greatest of kings, but his arrogance overcame him. He did wrong things, so therefore he had to be vanquished. Right? So this lesson is deeply imparted into Rama, and they proceed further. Then he tells him, when they go near Ganga, etc., he tells him the story of Skanda Murugan, how he was born. He tells the story of how Ganga was born, how Ganga was brought from heaven to earth by Bhagiratha. Bhagiratha is one of the ancestors of Rama. So your great-grandfather's great-grandfather was the one who did Dirgha Prayatna. It's called Bhagiratha Prayatna. Enormous effort, and he brought Ganges to the earth, they say. So, when you are talking to somebody, then you say like that, your grandfather did this, or your great-grandfather, it hits you as well. So that's something that I have to get. So this entire thing about the great effort that he took, the tapasya that he did, the duty that he performed towards his forefathers, all that comes out in that story that he tells about it, and goes further. And they reach the outskirt of Mithila, and they see this little ashrama which is deserted, and Rama asks what is wrong with this ashrama. Then he tells him the story of Gautama and Ahalya. He tells the story of Gautama and Ahalya and tells him, listen, there was this great sage, Gautama, he had his wife Ahalya. And when Gautama had gone away for having a bath, Indra came in disguise of Gautama and told Ahalya that you look very beautiful and I would like to spend some time with you. She knew that it was not Gautama, that it was Indra in disguise, but she too was not very averse to the thought. And she therefore agreed. and except that Valmiki puts it very plainly. There are various versions. He puts it plainly. And she agreed, and when the man was finished the job and he was going out, she in fact tells him, we have to do it before he comes, kind of thing. Almost. Now, the old man is coming back and he sees himself walking out of that thing. So he knows immediately by tapasya that this is, so he curses Indra that he'll lose his manhood and all that, and he curses his wife Ahalya, saying you will be like a stone, you'll be like, invisible like a stone, like this thing for thousands of years, you'll suffer, you'll be like this. But in some this thing compassion, he says, but you will be redeemed when Rama comes to the place where you are. When he comes, his feet touches this place, you will be redeemed. So Vishwamitra tells him, now you come. So let's go in. So Rama steps into the ashrama and then she's up. In other versions, he has to touch with his foot or something, but in Valmiki he just enters and she's up. And she's redeemed and she falls at his feet, and he in turn falls at her feet, saying, why is she falling at my feet? Right? So he in turn falls at her feet and all that. Now, so the same Vishwamitra who in Tataka's time had told him no compassion. Here he says compassion. Compassion towards somebody whom the world would not forgive. Gautama did not forgive. Everybody would say, if there is a person who should suffer, it should be her. Like that. Vishwamitra Rama says no. And that's the one. And then they go to Mithila. And he never tells him anything about Sita and all that. He says there's a bow. There's a big bow in that place. Which king after king, nobody is able to lift it. There is a challenge out there that who can lift it and string it, kind of thing. Vishwamitra tells Rama. He never tells him anything else. And a young kid, and this guy has done all this and come. He's also killed. Meanwhile, the Yajna, he has killed Maricha, Subahu and all. Maricha has been thrown away, Subahu has been killed, Tataka has been killed, Ahalya has been redeemed. So he's on a roll right now, actually. And then he's saying that, come and there is this bow. He says, done, I'll come. So they all go there and they're received by Shatananda, the priest. Shatananda is actually Ahalya's own son. So he's very thrilled that my mother and father have got reunited. Gautama has come back. They are reunited and all. He's very thrilled. And Shatananda to Rama, he tells him the entire story of Vishwamitra. How Vishwamitra was Rajarshi, his fight with Vasishta, how he got, during Tapasya, he got seduced by Menaka, he lost it all. So all this story is told by Shatananda. And how again he overcame it and became a Brahma Rishi. So this man is getting a lot of instructions, lot of high concentration instructions into what life can, what all perils are there in life. Is being told by various people in these 10 days. 10 days back, this man had no clue he is going to walk into life in these 10 days, what all is going to happen. And least of all that Sita is around the corner, he doesn't know also. Doesn't know. Okay, he has no clue. And there he comes and they take him and all that and all right. And of course, to cut it, we are now ending the time for today. So yes, he breaks the bow, we know that and all that. And the Veera Shulka, the Kshatriya thing, one of the things is that you give the daughter, the price for getting the daughter is to show valor. Veera Shulka. So he has shown valor. And so Sita is now his kind of thing, is told. We'll go in detail when we come into all that later. But the point here is, Vishwamitra is the one who gets it done. Rama is incomplete without Sita. Actually, she is a Shakti. Without her, he is nothing. In fact, the entire story of Rama, I may want to revise his opinion, but my current opinion, a little bit as of today, if I may, is Rama is reacting all the time. He gets into a situation, he reacts. And he reacts perfectly, but you may question whether his reaction was correct, etc. This lady is one acting all the time. She'll send Lakshmana away, she'll get kidnapped, she'll go to Lanka first. Everything, she's leading. And he has to follow, reacting, I have no saver, I have to now do this. All that is happening to him. Okay. Now, this guy, and the Upakathas, the other stories other than Valmiki Ramayana say that huge bow, that huge bow, Sita as a kid, Sita as a toddler, when that huge bow, she used to lift it from here and there and keep it seems, She used to lift it. Now, none of the kings are able to do it. Rama has made a big show of breaking it, etc. As a small kid, she used to just put it here and there. That's her Shakti. Okay, in Adbhuta Ramayana, in actual Ramayana, in the war away, he goes and kills Ravana. So much war is there before he kills Ravana. In Adbhuta Ramayana, there's a guy, another Ravana. That is, I forget his name now. There is a Ravana, Sahasravadana. He's got 1,000 heads, not 10 heads. He's Ravana Supreme. And Sita goes to fight him, and she doesn't waste any time. Yeah, she just jumps, and there are all these Rakshasas. She jumps from the chariot, straight goes for that 1,000-head Ravana, and one swipe she cuts all the 1,000 heads. She doesn't waste time fighting all the others, etc. So now she has been united with this thing. There are people who say that, you see, it was Vishwamitra who separated Harishchandra from his wife in a fight with Vasishtha. Harishchandra is Rama's ancestor. He wanted to do for that mistake that he did, so he wanted this time to ensure that he gets the right match. So he did that, and he got the wedding done. Now, wedding is over, everything is over, all four are married. Then Vishwamitra in Ramayana, who came that day and knocked on the door saying, tell them that son of Gadi has come, walks out and never again comes in Ramayana. This is where he walks away. After the wedding is done, he walks away. And then when they are going home, this Bharat, everything with all the dowry and with all the sakhis and all the servants and all the people, retinues going from Mithila to Ayodhya, comes the greatest challenge of Parashuram. Parashuram's challenge, Rama has to take. Parashuram says, I wanted to see who this guy is, who apparently broke the Vishnu's Dhanush. I want to give him a challenge. I have got the Dhanush. Let me see. This is Shiv Dhanush. Let him, can he lift this? And, Vishnu's Dhanush. That is Shiv Dhanush, Vishnu's Dhanush. Can he lift this? He is shouting. And they are petrified. Darshatha is again petrified. This Parashuram has come. He has killed 21,000 bloody generations of Kshatriyas. And now he's after my son who's just got married. And me. And he's petrified. Everybody is petrified. He's pleading, saying, please leave us alone. He's absolutely pleading. And Rama gets angry looking at his father saying, why should he plead to this guy? And says, no, I'll handle it, kind of thing. And he tells him, shouts at him in his name back and says, he wins that duel. We won't go into the duel. But the point is, why is this important? It's important because all this time Vishwamitra was there. Now he's not there. Right. So until the Sadguru is there is no fear. If you are in the presence of the master, then you can take on anybody. There's no fear because he's there. The protection is there. Now he's not there. He's just let you saying, no, it's not trials anymore. It's reals. Okay. I mean, you have to handle it yourself. The game is on. And he walked away. And Parashurama comes, the greatest of them all, who has killed 21 generations of Kshatriyas. And that's the only thing he does for a living, for a long time now. And he overcomes that as well. So, that is, I thought I will just go through a round today of how Rama as a student in these 10 or 15 days, his life was transformed by the presence and the grace and the teachings of Vishwamitra as the Guru. Here a kid, taken out to the open, given Atbala and Atibala mantra, made to sleep on the ground, to understand what is the state of the people at large in the world, made to face the elements, taken around, told stories to understand the weaknesses, the ficklenesses, the various difficulties, the challenges that will come, told stories of the glory of the people in his own lineage, what good things can be done, taken to fight with Tataka, given a lesson where compassion should not be shown, taken to Ahalya, given a lesson where compassion should be shown. Every which way he took him, he took him, and he told the story of Ganga, told the story, all that he did, Siddhashrama, all that, and finally united him with Sita, and then left him alone and said, now you fight, let's see what you do. Now that you completely, I've done my bit, and he just walks away from Ramayana. So that is that. So, there are many such people. If you take who was Rama's Guru, you will start with the Kula Guru or the Raja Guru who was Vasishtha. Then this man, Vishwamitra, who is actually, to my mind, the word Guru itself is used here very well. Then there are others but in the end comes Agastya. Absolute end, when 100 times he has tried to kill Ravan. Ravana's heads have been flying, but he's getting more heads. And they laugh actually when they fly. That's a different story in Anand Ramayana, that Rama bans laughter in Ayodhya because it reminds him of the Ravana's laughter. He bans it. That's an interesting story. That's another one. We'll come to it later. Now, now this guy, 100 times he can't do it. I mean, there's no way to kill him. When Agastya comes and teaches him Aditya Hridayam and says, now you can kill him. And then Matali, the chariot, doesn't even have a chariot. No? He's sitting on Hanuman, etc. and fighting. That Ravana has got a great, terrific chariot. So then Indra sends a chariot, Matali comes. Matali is a charioteer, and Matali tells him, Rama saying, you don't you know who you are? You realize who you are. Right? And then tells him, first aim for the navel of Ravana. Okay, he's got Amrita there, kind of thing. He says, he hit that first. And in our yogic tradition, the memories are stationed there. So you get rid of the memories first. You hit that. Right. And then he says, aim for the heart. Hit that. That's why the job is done. And when you do that, then Ravana, who is actually Andhakara, he's the ego, is killed. And self-knowledge is got. So this is the tattva that comes. We won't go into detail of it, etc. But this is the tattva that comes there. So Vishwamitra in this story his entire thing has been to teach and lead the way and equip Rama for discharging his swadharma. And in Yaksha Prashna, in Mahabharatam, one of the questions Yaksha asks Yudhishthira is, what is tapasya? What is tapasya? And the answer is, tapasya is swadharma. Doing your duty is tapasya. So anything that you do, any spiritual progress that you have to do has to be done on that ground. You have to stand on the ground of sadharma, and then you can do whatever else that you want to do for emancipation. That is the ground that you stand on. That is tapasya. That is dharma kshetra. That is kurukshetra. That is where the battle has to be fought. And that is why the Ramayana is such a great treatise of dharma. On that note, we will conclude today. And we will have next week. Har Namah Parvati Pataye Janaki Kanta Smaranam Gopika Jivana Smaranam Trivel Muruganuk Sri Sadguru Swaminah Yanjaneya Swaminah. See the difference between Bharata and from a storyteller's perspective, the difference between Mahabharata and Ramayana is Mahabharata's story moves like lightning and fire, and there are million stars in that firmament. This will be rock steady. This will be like you're climbing a mountain. So you have to pause and you have to breathe and get your breath back and all that. It's not easy. I mean, from a storyteller perspective, it's not that easy. There'll be a lot of thinking to do and a lot of dialogues where a lot of things are there, and a lot of poetry as well. If the storyteller starts telling too much about poetry, people walk away. So they want story, okay? They want story to move on and all that stuff. But we will see how it goes with it is not the first time it's been done. Million times it's been done. So we'll continue next Thursday. Thank you.